Sports cars and bullets collide on the Las Vegas Strip.
And an Encinitas neighborhood is left in shock after another deadly shooting.
Plus, more details surfacing in the case on the Paralympian charged in murder.
And is this cold weather over? I'll have more answers for you later in the show. Newscene starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Briley Oakes.
And I'm David Matris. Thank you for joining us. 3 people killed, 4 others injured, and 5 crashed cars is the result so far of the shooting that took place yesterday in Las Vegas. It all started at 4:30 in the morning when a black Range Rover opened fire on a Maserati on the Las Vegas Strip. Kenneth Chung, an aspiring rapper, was driving the Maserati before getting killed. The rapper hit other cars, including a taxi cab, which burst into flames. The taxi driver and the passenger also died on the scene. The black SUV sped away from the area. Authorities have started a statewide search for the passengers of the SUV. Neighboring states have been asked to be helped in the search.
For the third time in 2 weeks, another shootout in Southern California. This time, an intense standoff in Encinitas between sheriff's deputies and an armed suspect.
Need your canine over here. He's trying to get out the side of this. Deputy that's down is just to the house south of our house.
Emotions continue to run high in this tight-knit Encinitas neighborhood after a 10-hour-long standoff between San Diego Sheriff's deputies and 22-year-old Evan Quick. It came to a deadly end when Quick took his own life inside his mother's home.
He had problems, I know. I mean, that they're having a lot of family problems with him. Yeah, since he was about 16.
It started on Wednesday afternoon when deputies were called to the home of Michelle Fleming Quick. She told them her 22-year-old son, Evan, had stolen her car and returned shortly after. Deputies have reason to believe he came back to confront his mom about a pending restraining order. Sheriff's deputies arrived moments later and were forced to release tear gas because Evan would not cooperate. Quick opened fire, hitting 2 deputies.
I don't know what it is, but something's got to be done. We've got to stop this senseless violence. It's just, it's really out of hand.
SWAT team members rushed to the scene and surrounded the area where the shooter was held up. Quick refused to come outside and threatened to shoot anybody who tried to enter.
It's a sad situation because nobody wants to lose their kids and nobody wants to see their sheriffs shot at either.
A few hours later, the SWAT team sent a robot inside the home, only to find Quick had shot and killed himself.
I feel so bad for his mom because his mom is such a wonderful woman.
Deputy Colin Snodgrass suffered a gunshot wound to the leg and is recovering at a Scripps La Jolla hospital after undergoing a 4-hour surgery. Deputy James Steinmeier was released from the hospital Wednesday night after he was treated for a head wound. Both deputies are expected to be okay.
4 people are dead in Orange County after a series of brutal carjackings and shootings. The gunman is identified as 20-year-old Saddleback College student Ali Saeed, who reportedly lived at home with his parents. The slayings began early in the morning when Saeed shot and killed a woman in her 20s. Shortly after that, Saeed carjacked and executed 2 men on the side of the Interstate Freeway 5 during the early morning commute. He then took his own life. Police believe the shootings were random and the motive is still unclear. Los Angeles police are still trying to determine how to split up more than $1 million reward for Christopher Dorner. LAPD says that its first priority is to complete its investigation. Then it will team up with more than 24 agencies that contribute to the reward fund and decide who should get the money. Dorner was a former LAPD officer suspected in several killings. He killed himself last Tuesday during a standoff with police in Big Bear.
With all the recent shootings in Southern California, campus police want the community to be prepared just in case. Police showed a gun safety video and answered questions by students and staff and faculty. 3 simple words to remember, they say, are run, hide, and fight. Cops say evacuating is the safest route. If that's impossible, then hiding from a shooter is the next best thing. Finally, if there's no other choice, fighting back could save your life. But the prefer citizens use that as a last resort. The gun safety video is available on YouTube.
Investigators are still determining the cause of the death for the Canadian tourist found earlier this week. The body of a 21-year-old Elisa Lam was discovered in the water towers of Los Angeles Hotel. An autopsy performed failed to explain whether Lam was killed or fell into a fatal accident. The discovery was made after guests complained about lower water pressure in the hotel.
New developments into the Oscar Pistorius case have emerged. Giovanni Fuel is here to fill us in.
Thank you. The ongoing investigation into Olympian Oscar Pistorius and the death of the supermodel girlfriend Riva Steenkamp continues. Olympian Oscar Pistorius, also known as Blade Runner, was in court again today, this being day 4 of a South African bail hearing. After 2 hours of proceedings, Chief Magistrate Desmond Nair granted Pistorius bail.
I come to the conclusion that the accused has made a case to be released on bail.
The magistrate made clear his ruling today is in no way related to Pistorius' guilt or innocence. The star Olympic athlete is being charged with premeditated murder in the shooting death of his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp. Pistorius continues to argue that he mistakenly shot her through his bathroom door, thinking there was an intruder. Police investigators testified Pistorius would have had to turn toward the left at an angle in order to aim at the toilet, killing Steenkamp. No matter what the outcome of the case, an uncle of Pistorius says he has been forever changed.
The world will see a different Oscar, that's for sure. Nobody can be the same, ever again.
Riva Steenkamp's friends and family gathered this week to remember the model.
Everyone is sad, understandably, but at certain points we were smiling whilst remembering Riva, because we only have good memories of her.
The South African Police Service said yesterday that Hilton Botha, the lead investigator in the Oscar Pistorius murder case, will be booted from the investigation. David and Briley, the latest development would be that he was just released on bail at $114,000.
Okay, we're going to continue to follow up on that story. Thanks, Giovanni. The San Diego Deputy District Attorney, who was accused of ticket fixing, has resigned. Allison Warden was convicted last week on the 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice and 2 other misdemeanors. When Warden was issued the ticket in 2011, she protested, saying she was a district attorney and wasn't breaking the law. Warden then called her friend, San Diego Police Sergeant Friedman, and 6 hours later, her ticket was deleted from the system. Sergeant Friedman also resigned last year after 26 hours of service.
And local hotels are suing Mayor Bob Filner over a contract dispute. Filner has refused to sign a contract that releases funds for tourism marketing. The mayor wants to direct more money to the city treasury and secure better wages for the hotel workers. Hotel owners have filed a lawsuit saying they will not change any terms of their standing agreement with the city. And San Diego Gas and Electric, along with 2 other California utility companies, led a lawsuit that may give California consumers $1.6 billion back. The move comes in part to a tentative ruling by a federal judge, finding energy wholesale companies guilty of manipulating consumer prices during California's energy crisis.
A multi-heist took place in an international airport in Europe.
And the Olympian Committee has decided to cut out one of its original sports. Find out which one when we come back.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there are secrets that will make you smile.